Welcome back to Cocktails and Classics. Lord, it's been a long month, boys. I'm Dylan. Joining me, as always, are Ben, Zach, and Cam.
Hi.
And rounding out this wonderful April Fool's month, which somehow feels worse than the last one. I feel like we really went hard this year.
Zach already put his rating in.
We are finishing our April Fool's month with the 2019 abomination, Cats.
Somehow the movies got worse every week. We started with the literal YouTube comp of Shrek, and the movies got worse every week.
To kick things off and get everybody in the right mood, we're going to go to this week's cocktail, the Big City Cat from Bar Hill. We're replacing our rye whiskey with some Tomcat gin in this adaptation of the Manhattan cocktail. It's 2 ounces of Tomcat gin, 1 ounce of Sweet Vermouth, 2 dashes of Angosutra Bitters, and garnish with the cherry and orange twist. You just stir it over ice and strain that into a glass. It's almost borderline. It's not as orange as a Negroni, which is like peak cocktail for me. You know, you get that Campari with the bitter orange peel. Love some Negroni. Manhattan? Meh.
Not a big Manhattan guy?
No, definitely not with rye. I think we did the regular Manhattan for what was it? Was it Usual Suspects? I believe.
I remember we did it, but I don't remember what we did it for.
It's just too spicy, you know. Not a spice lord. Check the show notes below. Make yourself a Big City Cat, and use the Drizzly and Casker links to get yourself some gin and some Sweet Vermouth delivered directly to your door, and we get a little cut of that. You can check out Cats on Peacock as of recording, because we're gonna spoil it. I guess there's not much plot.
We're going to tell you what happens in this movie.
I don't know if we could, even if we wanted
And
to.
instead of 2 hours, we're gonna do it in 2 minutes, and you'll be done. You don't need to watch it.
As they should have done in the first place. We got your back.
Cats is a 2019 movie adaptation of the Andrew Lloyd Webber musical. Directed by Tom Hooper, written by Lee Hall, Tom Hooper, and Andrew Lloyd Webber. It stars James Corden somehow as the #1 star, Judi Dench, Jason Derulo, Idris Elba, Taylor Swift is in there, Rebel Wilson, Francesca Hayward is kind of like the actual main character. I think Jennifer Hudson. Who else am I missing? Is there anyone else who's like a star?
I don't know. Did you get Taylor Swift in there?
Yeah.
There's a laundry list of folks that never should have been in this movie.
None of them should have been.
Yeah, it probably would have had its reputation that it deserves, but like it actually made some money because all of those stars brought in viewers, and everyone was like, "Wow, this was dog shit."
Dog shit.
I can't believe they made this.
It's bad. Yeah, it's very bad.
It was the winner of Worst Picture, Worst Supporting Actor, Worst Screenplay, Worst Director, Worst Supporting Actress, Worst Screen Combo at the Razzies in 2020. It also was nominated for Worst Screen Combo, Worst Actress, and Worst Supporting Actress.
What was the screen combo that they named as the worst?
Any 2 half feline, half human hairballs.
Jesus.
So just any 2 cats.
What was the other nomination?
The other nomination was Jason Derulo and his CGI neutered bulge. And then Worst Actress winner was... supporting actress winner, was Rebel Wilson. Worst supporting actor was James Corden. And then also nominated for Worst Actress was Francesca Hayward. And supporting actress was Judi Dench.
I don't think Judi Dench deserved the hate for that role.
Cam's a Judi Dench stan. Let's get that out of the way.
I don't know. I'm just saying, I feel like of all the things wrong with that movie...
Yeah, I feel like Judi Dench is towards the bottom of that list.
Yeah. Like, if you're playing an old cat, she did it fairly well. I mean, I think James Corden is pretty insufferable, so I'm happy he got the nod there.
She basically played a wise old woman who happened to be a cat.
Right.
Like, I think she was fine.
The
I
one
think the
weird
CGI
thing...
on her made her look absolutely fucking terrible. I don't think that has anything to do with how she acted in the movie.
Yeah, the one weird thing she did, which she probably didn't even do, is when on the stage when I don't remember who it was, but she like kicked up her leg or something. Like that's weird.
Which cats don't do that. I've never seen a cat do that.
Ian
Besides
McKellen
when he
his
finished.
thing.
But it's like But she probably didn't even do that. That was probably a CGI after effect, you know.
And is that her choice or is that a director's decision? You know,
right?
Can we get the director's cut of Cats?
Look, Judy, I think you're doing a great job, but I really need you to lift your knee to your temple here as soon as we cut to you, okay?
I literally cannot do that.
We'll CGI it. You know what? It's fine.
We'll do it in post.
So the director of this movie is the third person to direct a Best Picture and Worst Picture.
Interesting. Who are the other two?
Was Danish Girls nominated?
Kevin Costner.
For what
won
movies?
an Oscar with Dances with Wolves and won a Razzie for The Postman. I don't think he directed Waterworld. He was just in it. And Peter Farrelly, who won
Green Book.
Oscar for Green Book, and won a Razzie for Movie 43.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So that one I feel like is one of those where like he did Movie 43 because he was really young and needed the work.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty telling when, you know, Tom Hooper won the Oscar and then the Razzie, Kevin Costner, Oscar, then Razzie, and the last guy was Razzie and then 5 years later won an Oscar. So if you ask me, Peter Farrelly looks like he just turned his career around, you know? The other two turned it around, but the other two turned it around, but in the bad way.
Yeah, Peter Farrelly's the guy who said that Shinola was single-handedly saving Detroit.
That's an interesting take.
Oh, okay. Well,
also the Green Book is like white savior.
I was gonna say the Green Book is very white savior complex.
Okay, I should have looked at who this guy was before I said he was turning his career around. That's on me.
Two things can be. I mean, it doesn't mean that he's a great person. You know, like he could still have a successful career even if you don't agree with him. Like, you know, Tucker Carlson has a fantastic career, but he's obviously very detestable.
Wow, this guy also did Hall Pass. How do you go from like Hall Pass to
Elite.
The Green Book?
I mean, he also directed Dumb and Dumber and Kingpin, Something About Mary, Me, Myself, and Irene, Osmosis Jones.
Whoa.
Wow.
This guy's got a catalog.
Deeper Pitch.
Fever Pitch, Shallow Hal.
Well, all right. You lost me with Shallow Hal.
Anyway, about Cats.
Cats currently sits at a 2.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
Who's giving it more than 3?
It does
People
have
who really
some
love the musical.
some 10s.
They have to be like fake 10s, right? Like there's no way they're real 10s.
I would hope.
Maybe by toddlers.
Figured out how to use a computer. They're super babies, baby geniuses.
None of us had seen this film before, correct?
I had not.
Had anyone like seen the musical or like the
I'd seen the clip
version?
The clip of the made-for-TV version of Memory. That's all I'd seen.
I saw School of Rock, which has the original song in it.
Nobody's seen this.
You know, going in, I know we kind of knew it was a musical. I didn't know it was like this far musical where there's no dialogue that's not sung.
There's also no actual plot.
Yeah. And the music doesn't serve to advance the plot really.
Yes.
All the exposition you need is in the first 2 songs. Where Jellicle cats and we have our choosing. So
this movie is more so patrons. Like I wrote a bunch of songs and I need some way to loosely tie them together.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like here's the story I'm telling. Now I need to write songs to tell this story. It was like, hey, here's this song about a bunch of cats. I don't know. What's the story here? Oh, one of them gets chosen, and then that way each song just introduces one of the cats, and it's totally fine. Like, no, the music in a musical should be used to progress the story along, not just introduce a new fucking character with every song.
Right.
It's essentially like when they do like indie films, and some of them are just kind of like that, where it's like, all right, here's this thing, and then we're going to slowly introduce you to this crazy zany cast of characters. It's like that, except you have to listen to like shitty 80s synth rock and like half-assed singing for about 2 hours.
I was going to say it's like Across the Universe, where they had a bunch of songs and they were like, how the fuck do we tie this? All right, I got this. We're just going to make this really incoherent plot or no plot at all and just put the songs in there as is. Perfect.
We need a character to walk through scene by scene to be the glue for all of these songs. Can we come up with another cat? Do we have another cat in the bag?
They did it. They came up with that cat.
Well, now the cat's out of the bag.
This movie was bad, if you can't tell by what we're saying. And not in a fun way. Not in a fun way. There are often movies that I like watching that are bad because they're fun. You know, like The Room is bad and fun. 2025 was not fun, but it was funny to watch because it was so bad the whole time, you know? This was very bad and also one of the most boring things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I would be mad if I paid to see this in theaters or like as a Broadway show. I feel like I will never this is a musical. I'm like, I never want to see it.
Yeah, this legit turned me off from ever wanting to see it live ever.
Yeah, and there's been musicals that I've seen like the movie first, and I'm like, oh, I would want to watch this like on stage to see how it is as a show. This is one where I've watched the movie and thought to myself, how the fuck has this been on Broadway for so long?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is the other thing is people really liked it. It's the 4th longest running Broadway show ever, which is insane. Especially like I don't know. Maybe it's totally different on in live, but oh my god, it was so boring.
It was like Super Babies, how we kind of said, oh, like some movies get that little boost because it's like, oh, this was bad, and we got to joke, and you're just kind of waiting for like, what's the crazy zany thing that's gonna happen next. This one is just boring. The music isn't even good to draw you in. At least some musicals pull you in a little bit. Like Zach didn't like Singing in the Rain, but I feel like you still are like waiting for I'm singing in the rain, and you're like, okay, all right, this is a bop.
I know that.
That one also had plot.
Yeah, but this one is just literally boring. We're jonesing on it in the background just to not make it an insufferable 2 hours, and it still was almost an insufferable 2 hours.
It still sucked, like, because there's not even enough to really joke about.
Right.
Like, you can only make the same comments about how shitty the CGI is.
And it is shitty.
So many times before it's like, okay, well, now I'm just bored again.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just, you just can't, man. Yeah, like the entire time we're just sitting there watching it, and it's just like, repeatedly I just kept thinking to myself, like, oh my god, like there's, not only is this just so boring, but there's literally nothing happening to the point where, like, yeah, it's hard to even make fun of for 2 hours because it's just like the same thing over and over again.
No, I don't think I've ever been this bored. I've never been this bored. Like, I legit... We've done movies where I've wanted to stop watching the movie because it was bad and, like, frustratingly bad. This movie, I didn't care anymore. Like, even watching it with you guys, I've never been more tempted to be like, can we just take a time out, pick a different movie, and do this another time? I don't know that I have the mental fortitude to watch another hour of this.
Yeah, I legit asked halfway through if we could review half of a movie because
when you're looking forward to the ad breaks in a free movie, it's sad. When I think the commercials are going to be more attention keeping than a movie, there's a problem with your fucking movie.
Yeah, there was this weird credit commercial where this couple met and had sex and had a baby and then bought diapers. And that was a more coherent and interesting storyline in that 30-second commercial than this entire movie combined.
Does somebody want to take us through the plot of the movie?
How? I can go for it.
Yeah, I can do that. So, the movie starts when we meet. Hold on, I have to pull up characters' names because fuck if I remember them. Victoria, as she's thrown out into the streets by her owner. There she meets the Jellicle cats. Here I'm going to take a quick pause because I saw where during the opening song, the word Jellicle is sang 66 times during the opening song. Just keep that out. And then 62 more times throughout the rest of the movie. So the total times Jellicle is sung or spoken during the movie, not including credits, is 128 times. So if you love hearing the word Jellicle, you're in for a treat.
Big Jellicle energy.
But I digress. She's thrown out into the street. She runs into the Jellicles, which is like a gang of cats, like a cat. I don't even know how to describe it.
Tribe. Cat gang.
Tribe. That's a tribe. Yeah, I guess that's in the storyline.
Yeah.
And then she finds out that every year the Jellicles decide which cat will ascend to the Heaviside Layer and come back to life as a new Jellicle? So basically, which one gets to be reborn? And the rest of the movie is pretty much spent introducing all of the cats who are nominated to be the cat to be reborn. That's a majority of it. There's a bad cat.
Yeah.
There's a sad cat.
McCavity, who's trying to become the cat who gets reborn, and his ideal way of doing that is just by killing or kidnapping all of the competition.
And let's be clear, his strategy is terrible, right? His strategies that are oh, I'm gonna kidnap every single other cat that you could pick, so you have to literally by elimination pick me. And
which also, let's point out that in the end, sorry, I know this is choppy as hell, but also keep in mind the movie's not that great, so the storyline doesn't matter. In the end, he talks about the fact that he took out all of the other cats. Jason Derulo was in the last scene with everyone else.
Was.
He's right there. He's still there.
Yeah.
He's not the only cat
I don't know
anymore.
if he was actually. I don't know if he was actually a candidate though.
It feels like anybody's a candidate. Jennifer Hudson's cat wasn't a candidate.
I feel like he didn't do a dance number. He didn't do the dance number on the stage though.
But she didn't either.
But she did. She performed in front of everybody.
It wasn't on the stage though. It was just out in the open.
Shit, the fucking tap dancer magically teleported to some rail yard.
Jason Derulo's cat was performing the whole time. I saw Jason Derulo's cat sing and dance for 20 minutes in that movie.
Yeah, but he was just horny and trying to hit on Victoria.
I mean, that's true.
That's fair.
Weren't we all?
No.
The thing is yeah, so the plot is we're introducing you to all these other characters who want to be the one that goes to heaven and be reborn or whatever.
Yeah.
All those cats are shitty one-dimensional characters where they got for most of them the worst possible person.
They have one thing special about them. Hey, I'm the James Corden cat. I'd like to eat food.
I'm the fat cat. And then it's I'm Jennifer Hudson's. I'm the poor cat.
I'm
who's
very
now a
sad.
Street urchin. I'm Rebel Wilson. I'm lazy.
No, she runs the house.
The mice.
She runs the house, basically.
She trains
Her setup
mice
was
and
weird.
She was
cockroaches.
klutzy. She hit herself in the face with the chain at the end of the movie. When they were trying to escape the boat.
Right. Oh,
I don't know.
I'm the Ian McKellen cat.
I'm old.
I'm old. I'm old and I can.
I'm old. I'm old. I'm old Gus.
I'm old Gus.
What was his thing? The fear fiddle fucker or whatever.
I don't know.
I don't
But
even
it
know
was.
what that. I thought that was
he's the
going to be
old-
his son or
He's
something.
the old thespian dude, and there's the magician.
Yeah, the
guy.
magic cat.
Which he wasn't a candidate though, right?
No, he was
No.
not.
No.
He's
The
just there.
magician was the bad guy.
He
the
was there
other
to bang
bad
Victoria.
guy. Like the other magician was the bad guy.
The weird thing to me is this guy's plot was to kidnap all these cats. But then he never thought that she would just be like, "No, I'm not choosing
picking
you. No matter what you do, I'm not picking you." Because
The thing I don't get-
then what's your end game there? You know? He tried to
thing I
make her
don't
walk
get-
the plank like a fucking pirate, but obviously didn't work.
The thing I don't get is that he teleported all the cats onto this boat, and then teleported the old lady cat onto the boat because he couldn't be the chosen cat, and then the magician brought the old cat back.
Yeah.
So why didn't he just go back and get the old cat?
I don't know. I think he knew that plan wasn't going to work, so he had to do plan B.
Also,
which
the other thing
was-
is technically
Hold
you
on
don't
to
have
it.
to go get the. You don't have to go there and get them if the other guy can just bring them back without being there.
Yeah, if the
You-
other
you know what I'm
magic
saying?
cat,
Like-
why doesn't he just bring everyone back?
Yeah. Look, they weren't really concerned with plot holes or like good plot or coherent story or good characters or
Taylor
good
Swift
music.
drugs an entire room of cats.
That's true. Yeah. She does do that.
So my thing is, like, the entire big plot of like, oh, the old Deuteronomy has been stolen, is solved in 2 seconds when they sing the song about the other magician cat and he brings her back. Like, that's it. That's like, I thought we were gonna get like whole like chase scene or
Battle
something
scene
to
or
like
something,
go
yeah.
fetch her. Yeah, like something
There wasn't-
entertaining instead of just a song and being like, oh, she's back.
There wasn't really like a climax or like conflict, really.
There was. Did you see the magician when he busted all his cards open?
Yeah, he did spew his cards all over everybody.
Is Taylor
just-
Swift's cat still on that boat?
No,
No.
See, we don't know where she went, but she teleported off with Idris
McCavity.
Elba. Yeah,
Never to
Like
be
they-
seen again.
they teleported off together. We don't know where she went after.
Probably for the better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably so. Looking at the IMDb trivia, that this was originally supposed to be an animated movie before Tom Hooper came on board to direct, makes me think that maybe had they just kept it an animated movie, it would have been so much better.
Yeah,
give me some
'cause the
2D
other thing-
1990s Disney animation.
I don't know if we talked about this, but the budget of the movie was $95 million,
Jesus.
and they only made $75 million at box office. And so that doesn't include advertising. After advertising, it's thought that Universal lost like $110-ish million on this movie.
So here's my big question. Do you think any of the actors tried to take a smaller upfront and take a percentage on the back end?
Oh,
And
I
if
was
so-
Hope not.
and
I would
if
hope-
so,
I would hope most people don't do that.
I mean, I feel like
It can pan out. I mean, that's how fucking Robert Downey Jr. got paid so much fucking money.
Jack Nicholson still makes money off of Batman for that shit.
No. Well, there's a certain way to do it, though, is the thing.
You
I
have to
forget
do it
which
off of
is.
gross income, not net profit. Because otherwise you'll never
Yeah,
get
because
paid.
most
Yeah.
movies technically go in the red. So
Yeah,
they don't have to
technically.
pay that out.
Good old Hollywood math.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you do it based on like gross numbers, then yeah, I think you could make out well. Or if you do something like George Lucas did, which is like, fine, you can have this, but I want all the merchandising rights. Okay.
I there's so many things wrong with this movie, but the big climactic final number was so god awful.
It was so bad. Yeah.
Like there was no reward for any of the torture that you went through. Yeah, like
they just told you how to talk to cats.
Balloon.
That's literally what it was. They just told you how to talk to a fucking cat.
Don't call them a dog.
Cats are not dogs.
They're not dogs. And this is how you address a cat. Dude, fuck off. Yeah, there was no payoff for watching this movie.
And also, there's no payoff for Jennifer Hudson's character being chosen. We just watch her disappear into the sun.
Yeah. She just goes around the world in 80 days.
Yeah, we don't know what happens beyond that.
Do any of the cats that you pick to send up, do they ever actually come back?
Have you ever seen them again, or are you just murdering cats?
I feel like you're just sending cats up in a balloon, and then the next time, and then the next time a new cat shows up, you're just like, oh, it's the same cat. Like, nah, dog, you just murdered a cat. You're just picking one person a year to murder, and then just being like, no, it's okay. They're gonna come back. We're giving them a better life.
Oh man, I mean, I would buy it. Yeah.
It's like insert movie here that maybe some people have watched, and I don't want to spoil in case we do it for the podcast.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Zach, you've seen it, right? Have you seen Midsummer?
I was gonna ask if it was Midsummer you're talking about.
No, I haven't.
Have not seen it.
Wow, no one's seen Midsummer? We should watch it.
I've heard it's fucking weird. I'm pretty sure I do know what happens at the end, though, so I'm with you on what you're saying.
Cam is subscribed to Watch Mojo.
No, Mona's seen it. I don't think she told me. I think I've just seen it on like online or something.
Classic Cam. I still don't know what happens in the fucking Rise of the Skywalker, but goddamn Cam knows every modern movie's ending.
It's so weird that you don't.
I avoid spoilers so easily, and everyone else is like, "Oh man, I know what happens at the end of Uncut Gems." I'm like, "How?" If you start reading something or watching something, just don't watch it.
I watched a video of him getting shot in the face.
I did not know. I assumed we talked up front early about doing that movie for the podcast and was like, I'm going to avoid everything about it. Cameron immediately is like, I watched a Watch Mojo video, and I know how I watched a Watch Mojo video.
10 craziest plot twists.
It didn't make it any worse for me, though. I still enjoyed
twist endings on a fucking... When he's on a podcast about him not having seen the movies. And it's just like,
yeah, but I feel like the movie would have been that much better had you not known.
I know,
maybe, but I still enjoyed it.
I'll spoil these movies for myself.
Every scene, Cam's like, oh, is this when that happens?
Still enjoyed the movie.
Kim's like, box. I know what happens here.
I mean, okay, that one's impossible to avoid. I feel like you can't avoid that.
I don't know what happens at the end of 7.
Wait, are you serious?
I also, the first time I watched it, I did not know.
Wait, Zach, have you seriously not seen 7?
I have not seen it, but I know what happens at the end because it's such an ubiquitous quote.
Why have we not done 7?
What's in the box?
Yeah, but I knew what was in the box, or like what's in the box, but I didn't know what was in the box.
What do you mean? How can you know what's in the box but not know what's in the box?
No, I know the line.
He knows the
quote. Like, I don't.
Do you still not know what's in the box? Or do you?
I've seen the movie.
Oh, okay,
I've seen the movie.
Gotcha. Right,
I didn't when I watched it though, and then I was like, "Oh shit!"
Gotcha.
Don't spoil it. Zach hasn't seen it and apparently doesn't know.
We should watch it. It would be that would be.
Do
a
you
good
know
one.
that quote?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I think
Cats.
we've talked about doing 7. But,
dude, fuck cats. This is a 7 podcast now.
Let's run it back and watch 7.
We should title this podcast episode 7.
So I just want to talk about.
We've covered more of the plot of 7 than of Cats.
More of this IMDb trivia here. Andrew Lloyd Webber was so affected by the disastrous reception of the movie, he ended up adopting a puppy and had the dog registered as a therapy pet.
Oh my god.
When asked by an airline via note asking if he really needed the dog, Andrew Lloyd Webber responded, "Yes, just see what Hollywood did to my musical Cats." The airline sent an approval back with a note saying no doctor's report required. Basically just like, have you seen what they've done to me? And the airline was like, yeah, man, bring a dog wherever you want.
I didn't realize he was still alive. He's not that old, I guess.
I don't
He's only 74.
So. Yeah. I mean, most of the musicals I feel like he made were in like the 70s, 80s.
I mean, it feels like a long time ago. Jesus Christ Superstar, Cats, Phantom of the Opera. It just feels like, I mean, I don't know. That was like 40 years ago.
But a lot of these guys...
but he was probably also in his like 20s or something. When
exactly. Like, I feel like a lot of the composers... I mean, it's going to be like in 20 years being like, oh, Lin-Manuel Miranda is only X age?
Okay, but he was not that young when he broke out with Hamilton.
But he did In the Heights like 10 years prior to that. Or I don't know that it was 10,
that's true, but was that big of a deal?
It won a Tony.
Oh, all right. Kind of a big deal then.
Yeah, kind of a big deal.
He was 25 when that came out, so it's, I don't know. It's always amazing these people are so young when they come out with these plays that are just like Broadway hits.
Mean, yeah, well, that's...
Well, this says Andrew Lloyd Webber was 17 years old when he was introduced to Tim Rice, and they made their first collaboration, The Likes of Us.
Let's say
wow.
Most of the ones that have like several Broadway shows are like fucking prodigies. Stephen Sondheim, who just passed away, worked on West Side Story. That musical came out in like 1957. Like, he had to be pretty fucking young.
Yeah.
Can I hit you guys with some Cats reviews from IMDb?
Absolutely.
You can try.
There's some gems. The first one it's very short. The title of it is Why. The review is, I used to be a wholeheartedly Christian mother.
That's how you know it's satire immediately out of the gate.
I then watched this movie and became an atheist. No loving God would put us on a planet with the likes of this.
It's a fair point.
Zach, I got you one here from our friend Alex Mower, who had our beautiful review of Good Will Hunting. Gave it a 0.5 star out of 5 on Letterboxd. Said, "Theater kids, explain yourselves."
We need to find this guy and get him on the podcast.
This one left on IMDb Christmas morning, 2019. Title is, Staring at a Wall is a Far Better Use of Your Time. There is a wall in my house. The wall is a simple wall, 8 feet tall, 15 feet wide. It sits in a corner in the basement. It has been painted beige with a few coats to cover up the bumps and scratches from coats before. It's got its idiosyncrasies, the way the light jumps off the paint, the not-so-even drywalling underneath. Stare at it long enough and it begins to speak to you, or at least allow you to speak to it. Maybe there's something to the wall, or maybe it's just my romantic illusions of inspiration and contemplation that bring life to it. My point is this. Staring at that blank wall for 2 hours is far more inspiring, interesting, and enlightening than watching even just 2 minutes of the cinematic colonoscopy that is Cats. A film so awful, so ridiculous, and so void of substance, its very existence is an affront to musicals, film, and theater. Unless you're a fan of so bad it's good cinema, stay away. This is a watershed moment in bad movie history.
Damn.
The thing is, I don't even know if it's so bad it's good. Like,
it's not so bad it's good.
Not.
I disagree.
It's not so bad it's good.
I know more about this man's wall than I do the plot of Cats.
Again,
I know
the plot
somebody
of
else
Cats
here
can be summed up in like one sentence.
Yeah, but you had to tell it to me. How many times watching that movie did I ask, what the fuck is going on? What is even happening? And you had to come in and save the day.
I think the major issue is that they explained the whole thing about them picking one cat to get reborn. They said it like one time in the first, like right after the first song, and that's all they mention of it. It was like a throwaway line, which we talked over, so no one fucking heard it.
See, I see all these reviews on Letterboxd that are like, oh my God, this was an amazing experience to see in the theater with a packed audience who were all there to like laugh and heckle. One of the best times I had at a movie theater in 2019. I'm going to be really honest with you guys. It was the most fun I've ever had in my life. We did that. It still wasn't fun. In no way.
Yeah, I agree.
The Room is fun to watch. It sucks. It's bad, but like, God, you just laugh at like the absurdity of the lines and like Tommy Wiseau as a character, but nothing in here. None of the jokes hit. None of the cat puns. The music sucked, and I just have to listen to somebody sing for fucking 2 hours. Like, I don't know. I don't understand it.
I almost put my cat up for adoption. The review says, if I thought I had any will to live before, this movie destroyed it. I went home traumatized. My beloved cat of 4 years was on my bed sleeping, and I almost called the adoption center to put her up on their listing. I didn't get rid of her, but I can never look at her or other cats the same way again. Rating, -60 out of 5.
That's fair, yeah.
Keep a good stack of holy water around if you want to watch it. This is what Dante saw in one of his dreams. Also, this is traumatizing for children, so if you are 22 or older, go watch it. Another one says, sorry to pile on, but in my 55 years, I've never walked out on a movie until now.
Oh, man.
If I would have went without knowing like reviews and sat down in the theater, I probably would have went to ask for a refund.
Yeah. I've never done that, but I would have walked out after like the 20-minute mark and been like, I would like my money back.
I might have just snuck into a different movie, if I'm being honest.
Or just asked, been like, hi, can I watch literally anything else?
I mean, honestly, they probably would.
Do you have a wall?
Do you have paint drying? Can I watch that? None of us had seen this film. We're going to finish up April Fool's month right with some reviews. Some 4 fresh reviews from the Goob Squad.
With the big sad.
Cameron, kick us off. Let us know what you thought of Cats.
This was probably the most boring movie I've ever seen in my entire life. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, objectively, it's not the worst, right? Like, I think we can all agree it's not, like, the worst quality-wise. But, so that makes me in a pickle, because I don't know how to rate it. I think I'm going to give it, like, a 1, I guess. A 0 seems very extreme, but it does not seem extreme for how much I hated it. Man, I don't know. Like, maybe a 0.5? I don't know what's fair. I guess I'll give it a 0.5 out of... only because the only reason it gets any points at all is because I have technically seen worse than this. So, that's its redeeming grace, is I have seen worse movies.
I have not. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. It's boring. They sing a lot. The songs are bad. And if you're going to make a musical, you know the line. Don't. They really took what could have been like you know back in the Nickelodeon days, or maybe like Nick Gas, when they would tell you a story about a kid who pushed his bike up a hill. And it was like an inspirational thing. Or like the kid who won at Foursquare finally. It was like a 30-second thing to fill commercial space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cats could have been that. That's what Cats could have been. But it wasn't. It was 2 hours long. And it was horrible. I'm much more likely to watch Birdemic Shock and Terror, 2025, Food Fight, Star Wars Holiday Christmas Special before I watch Cats again.
Oh,
0
that's a
out of 10.
given. Yeah. I would watch Food Fight like 3 more times before watching this again. Maybe even more, honestly.
And for that reason, I give it a 0. I'm not going to recommend anybody go and see this. And if you did and you paid AMC or Imagine or whoever to see it, I'm so sorry.
I'm going to do something I said I wouldn't earlier this month. I'm going to give this movie a -1.
You cannot. No, you can't. That's not legal. That's not legal. 0 out of 10.
Broke the
0
formula again.
You can't. No.
To change the formula.
It's 0 to 10, Dylan. You have to put it in 0 to 10 range.
Can this movie not exist? Like, can I get back the 2 hours of my life that it took for me? Because if not, this is the start of my villain arc where I begin to seek vengeance upon the people who made this monstrosity.
This is your Joker moment.
It was god awful. It was boring. There was never a moment where I laughed. I was feeling the music. I was bopping. It was just so awful. Like the CGI, we've said it, and I think that's the main talking point for most people who watch this movie. Is like they're humans painted up as cats and like in the thing, but their bodies and like all the cat elements are all done CGI. So they have like ears, and the ears like twitch and move a little bit like a cat's would if you were like sitting and staring at a cat. But like it's like they did the mask is literally just the circle of where your face is, and then everything else is done computer generated, and you can see the mask moving on the on the cat like computer generated body, and it's just a sad excuse for an attempt to make a movie. If you guys won't allow me to do a -1, then it's a 0. But like it is the biggest and fattest 0 I can possibly give. This is the worst movie I have ever seen.
I think you got. I don't know. I feel like I feel like a negative is cheating. I feel like it's got to be 0, right? Like
it's literally the worst thing I've ever seen. That's as much as I can say.
Yeah,
I guess.
I will say to your point about the CGI. So many people talk about that. I feel like nobody talks enough about how fucking boring the movie is from start to finish. Like nobody talks about that. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's so bad."
It's overshadowed by the butthole take.
Nobody is. And a lot of people talk about the CGI and how weird it is, but no one talks about how fucking boring it is.
Yeah, really nothing happens throughout the course of the entire 2 hours.
For real.
No event, nothing of note. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a review, and I'm going to go ahead and let it be littered with cat puns.
Oh, good.
So,
he wrote them
that
down.
was one.
Oh,
I did write them down. Guys, this movie was a catastrophe.
Aww.
Absolutely clawful.
Aww.
He's really leaning into the
This
dad
review
jokes
is
now.
better than
Quite
previous.
possibly the worst thing I've ever seen.
Aww.
I think it was littered again. Sorry, I didn't want to actually reuse that one. It was full of terrible performances.
Aww.
It left me feline bored.
Aww.
I would give it a 0 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
Aww.
And I give it a 0 here as well. I would agree with Dylan and give it negative if I could, but I can't. Look, have I seen worse movies? Yes. Have I seen movies that I've enjoyed less?
No.
No. I've seen some real stinkers, but my God, was that... I'm not the type of person that's like, no, I'm committed. We gotta stop. This was one where I'm like, no, seriously, like, I feel like I'm about to fall asleep. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my cat pun-filled review.
It's great.
I thought it was perfect.
Oh, thank you.
Hey.
Yeah.
Cats moves into the
I
number
gotta
2
get them
spot,
in
by the way.
in case, I'm not here for future reviews. I want you guys to just remember what you're missing when I'm gone. All the terrific puns.
Cats narrowly edges out 2025 by 0.13.
For real, I couldn't believe Ben's review. And neither could you.
Oh, Dylan, please
If you
stop.
enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this, don't
Milk.
forget to rate
I
and
don't know how you
subscribe.
could have enjoyed any of this.
Check us out on Only Pause.
Oh?
Aww.
Dylan, if you ever make more puns, I'm done.
Don't forget to check us out on Instagram at Cocktails and Classics Pod. Don't forget to check out the show notes. Make yourself a big Sig cat. Use the drizzling caster links to get yourself some Tomcat Gin and Sweet Vermouth. Check us out next week as we do 7. After we sim.
Do you want me to tell you what's in the box?
He's gonna find out.
All right.
Share us with your friends and family. As always, watch responsibly.